Welcome to an all new episode of the MCR. We're here to break down episode 3 of Miss Marvel. In my opinion, the best episode so far, but to be fair, I believe every episode of Miss Marvel is the best episode so far. I'm very excited to jump into this. First, I want to give a huge shout out to Jayla who put together the intro for us. Thank you very much, Jayla. And second up, I want to introduce my panel before we jump right into it, starting off with Tristan. Tristan yelled at me last week for not being part of the panel. That I definitely told him about.
Wow.
But no, Tristan, you got to see the first 2 episodes early, so you've been kind of sitting on that for a while. But welcome, man. Glad to bring you in for this episode 3.
Thank you. I'm glad to be here.
Absolutely. Glad to have you. Next up, Trayvon. What's up, Trayvon?
Hey, yeah, I'm very happy. This is definitely the best episode so far. Very excited to talk about this one.
Yeah. Absolutely. What's up, Didge?
What's up? Yeah, I'd agree with everyone. This is the best episode so far, and I'm definitely ready to talk about it.
Absolutely. And as we jump right into it, Joel, what's going on? And lead us into your thoughts on this episode.
Well, it's obviously the worst episode so far. But I can't say that at all. I've enjoyed every single episode thoroughly. And this episode, it was no different, even at 4 o'clock in the morning. But I will say, it gave us answers, but also gave us a lot more questions. So that's actually the most intriguing part, because it starts kind of like right where we didn't expect, right? You're in India in like 1942, am I correct?
42, 43, one of the two.
The British are at that point taking over.
Yeah.
So it cuts to like a group of people just got like looking through the like rubble, right? And then they find you see an arm, and the arm is not normal. Like even for a dead arm, it shouldn't be that blue, right? So that's the first hint. Like, all right, looks creepy to me. That's the first thing I thought. That's for me. That was the first thing I thought of. They touch it, they pick it up, they talk about there should be 2 of them, they need 2 of them. Another thing we can use this to get home. What are they talking about? We obviously realize it's a flashback to their Kamala's great grandmother, Alicia, whatever her name is.
I think it was Aisha.
Or is Aisha?
Yeah.
And we know that's kind of where they kind of lose track of her. So, and also another big thing was like as they were zooming out, you see the 10 rings logo on the floor of the temple. So it's like, all right, well, that's pretty cool. What is that all? How does that all connect? Again, more questions than answers actually in this episode. Even though the answers they gave us, this is where things change a lot from the comic books, because now you're doing stuff I don't recognize, right? So now she's introduces a new group of people who call themselves the Clandestine, right?
Yeah.
We've heard rumors about this being a thing, and obviously they've been known as Jinn or Genie or whatever, and they're from a different dimension called Null. Was it Null dimension? Nor dimension.
Yeah.
Never heard any of that shit. So this is all new territory from at least me. So like I don't know anything about what the hell's going on. So this is all very brand new. How does if that is Kree tech, as we think that Bangle is, how does that work, and how does it get them where they need to go? Why do they need 2 of them? Are those quantum bands or nega bands? We don't know. So those are the questions we got there. Is Kamala is related to her great grandmother? That would make sense. Did she actually get away? Did she go to where she needed to go? Did she find the other half? Or probably not, because they found the other half. That's the biggest question there. That's how it started. Then you get the fun part, which is the wedding, and then it got to they changed on her quick, because in the beginning they were very friendly.
Mm-hmm.
Like by the end of the episode, they wanted her ass. So it's like it was a quick change. Like we have no time to play with you. We were very nice to start, but we need to, and they don't care. They want to go home no matter what, and whoever gets hurt, they don't care. They just want to get home. And that's really where the conflict is, especially with Cameron. And obviously he doesn't see it that way, and he tries to help out, and And then there's the big fight with her and Kamala and the thing, and that was cool. We got to see her use her powers again, and very defensive, and then she switched to offensive. And anyway, overall, I have to say it was again a very fun episode, and she's great. She really is great as Kamala Khan. So I'm really enjoying it.
Yeah, no, I completely agree with you. I will say, Disney, I don't think they did it on purpose, clearly, but Disney definitely had an FTK day, which is fuck them kids. So you start by releasing Doctor Strange today. That's literally about Wanda trying to kill a kid. Then you go right to Miss Marvel. That's about a group of people trying to kill a kid. Then you end the night with Kenobi and someone else trying to kill a kid. They were just like, fuck kids here. So for all those people that are like, Disney will never go dark, they gave you a Wednesday that was nothing but fuck them kids. So congratulations, Disney, for creating a new lane for yourself.
#FTK.
Hashtag FTK. But as far as to what you were saying, Joel, the Noor dimension, I believe they made up. That is not anything Marvel. And the clandestine, that is Marvel, but that's a deeper cut than what people thought the Guardians were.
Yeah, it's a name. It's in name only. Basically, they're using
right. Yeah, they had interactions with like the X-Men. They were kind of similar to the X-Men, honestly. But it's a massive deep cut. So I think this was Kevin Feige's way of saying like, who gives a fuck about the clandestine? No one. So let me just use the name. Right. Because people won't have any idea what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Because we don't know where they're going.
Tease,
no one's going to care if we change
no one's going to care.
When she was saying, like, we're called this, some people say we're this, I thought the last one was going to be Inhuman. And I was like, that was the perfect moment. And it hurt for it to not be.
100%. Look, like I said, I'm willing to wait. I'm willing to wait, too, but that was the moment that was just like... I felt like that was sort of like a slap because they were like, we know what you're expecting.
You know what you want.
You're not gonna get
it. You better hold on.
Yeah. Yep. So as far as your points, before I pass it to you, Tristan, to give your thoughts on episode 3. So I believe, if we're theorizing here, that was a Kree, right? I do believe now we have our answer to a question we sat and thought about for hours, which was, what did I completely forgot his name. What did the Sorcerer Supreme Wong? What did Wong mean by when he was telling Shang-Chi that a beacon has now been alerted, right? So now you go, remember, it was said that the 10 Rings was found in a crash. We never saw that crash. I believe that might be the site of the actual crash. And the Bangled, along with the 10 Rings, could be Kree technology that spilled out. And they said that she said in the episode, someone told her to go there to find the Bangled because it might help her get home. That very likely could be Wen-Wu that ran into her and was telling her, like, I found these fucking things. I've been a god for like 10 trillion years. Like I'm dripping here. You might find something in that cave too. You might want to go look. So it now leads me to believe, could we be seeing the premise of what the Marvels is actually about? Could the Marvels actually be about a massive Kree war that brings Carol Danvers and Monica Rambeau back to Earth to align themselves with Kamala to fight said Kree invasion? So the secret invasion could literally leak right into a Kree invasion, and the Marvels is just about them protecting Earth from the Kree. Because you showing that hand is definitely, like, they could have just found the Bangled on the ground. Taking it off of a hand that looks like a Kree, knowing that Miss Marvel will lead to the Marvels, I mean, it kind of just seems like it's going hand in hand in hand, right? So I'm very curious now if this if this season ends with us seeing either Monica Rambeau or Carol Danvers, that literally leads us right into it. But this was a really well-directed, well-written episode. And man, just like Shang-Chi, this show has a way of just making another culture just seems so fucking cool. That wedding was fucking awesome.
It looked so
It
Yes,
was.
It looked
yes,
so
It
fun.
was
yes.
so much
Like it
fun.
was so much fun.
I love when her parents got into it too, like her mom and dad did.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I was
that
like, oh,
was.
this is
I had a lot of
amazing.
fun with that. No, it looks beautiful. And look, if there's one person that was watching that from afar that was just clapping, it's Kingo. Kingo was like, "Yeah, all right, y'all hitting that shit. I see y'all. Okay, all right, I fucks with that. Okay." But no, all jokes aside, I really truly love this episode, and like Joelle said, she just for this being her first big acting role, it just like now I'll never be able to separate Kamala Khan from Iman. You know what I'm saying? That's forever her, right? No matter what I see in cartoons, video games, comics, that's her. The same way RDJ is now synonymous with Iron Man, right? Like you don't think anything else. She is doing an amazing job. I love these directors. I love the writer. They're moving a narrative, as I pass to you, Tristan. They're moving a narrative for like a few different things, but they're doing it so seamlessly. Like what are your thoughts on how not fast, but how fluidly we're moving along this story, and they're not making it to where we feel like we're missing something or we're lost. They're doing it in a way where it feels like they're answering it as they go, right? So just walk me through that and then your thoughts on this episode.
Okay. Yeah, I do agree that things are moving pretty quickly, but this is only like a 6-episode series, right?
Right, yeah.
So this is essentially like the first 2 episodes are Act 1. This episode is like the beginning of Act 2. Next episode is the ending of it, and then last 2 episodes are Act 3. So I enjoy how fast it's moving because we only have a limited amount of time. So I feel like everything they're including needs to be there. There isn't anything that like they're not putting any extra stuff in there. Like there's like everything that's there needs to be there. It's a very concise series, I guess that's how I would describe it. But like I really enjoyed this episode. I really love the wedding. Like that entire culture, they just look like they have so much fun at parties and weddings. So yeah, I really enjoyed that wedding. I liked how the bride's family got involved. I really enjoyed the fight, and what I really loved about it is that Kamala, like, she wasn't really winning. Like, she was kind of getting her ass kicked. I love that it wasn't like, oh, yeah, she just immediately knows how to use her powers to fight. Even the little stuff she was doing, like ducking and dodging, I was surprised. But I was like, I love how it was like, yeah, she's not perfect at this.
Right.
So I really enjoyed
like
that.
The powers protecting her.
Yeah. What was that weird? Like, I kind of looked away for a second. What was that weird? Like when the light kind of covered her like an armor. I don't know if y'all would describe it that way.
Yeah,
it looked like a weird armor.
Yeah, like it was covering her. Yeah.
So it seems like the bangle in her brain works separately right now. So it seems like the bangle was its defense mechanism, right? So like it just reacted for her, like instinctually, like, oh shit, I don't want to die, right? So it's just like shield. Because even when she saw it, she's just like, what the fuck? What? Okay, sure. So I kind of feel like right now the bangle is working kind of like for her, kind of like Joelle, like the scarab, like we know the scarab does with Jaime, to where it sometimes it'll do shit, and Jaime is like, I didn't even know you were about to do that, and it's like, well, I want to keep you alive. So you breathing is kind of a whole thing for me. So it kind of seems like that's what it's doing for Kamala.
Yeah.
And I thought the like Joel, I wasn't familiar with the clandestine. Is that
Clandestine?
Clandestine. So I was like, I went and looked it up, and they do give like X-Men vibe, but it does seem like something they were just like, okay, nobody's gonna care about this. Let's just throw this in. Yeah. Because I was looking at pictures of them, and I was like, how does this line up with what's going on the show?
It doesn't make sense.
Yeah, and then them being called the Jinn, so that's pretty cool. So I appreciated how this was kind of a mythology episode that kind of expanded the mythos of the bangle and where it comes from. I was expecting them to the clandestine to. I was a little surprised by how quickly they turned. I thought maybe we would get one episode of them being all friendly, and then the next episode is like, okay, here are their true intentions. But it makes me really curious about where they go from here. Like they've all been arrested. And I'm thinking the damage control people, they're going to start closing in on Kamala at this point, because even her parents know that she was connected to those people that were arrested. So surely somebody's going to say something. So I'm really curious to see where they go.
Yeah. I'm about to say, like, how she like conveniently slipped away.
Yeah.
When they came in, I was like, she's right there in the middle. You didn't see her.
Right. They didn't look over there. Like what?
Well, she right there. Like, come on.
Yeah.
now.
Oh wait, you
And
talking about
dragging
when you talking about when the damage control came in?
Yeah.
Yeah.
She
Well,
was right there.
To be fair, if you're damage control, remember she was in costume in the video that they saw.
Right.
So for them, they didn't see her actually doing anything. So that was more so like they thought they were escaping. They're kids, so they thought they were more like escaping because these fucking tyrants are destroying this
so.
wedding.
Yeah, but they took Cameron. They took him too. He does look a lot older than
He
Zachary.
does.
Well, not only that, but you can kind of look at him and how he's dressed and kind of go, "You look like you're
fair."
Like, you know what I'm saying?
So,
Like,
Jawan, for that to work, what you just said, for that to work for me, I would have needed them to at least acknowledge that Kamala and Bruno were over there, and then be like, "Okay, yeah, get out of here, get out."
Right.
Like for that to work, I needed some kind of acknowledgement. But the idea
They didn't even
look over there. Well, there's no way they wouldn't scan that room.
She was dragging a body, like
I
was like,
come on.
It looked suspicious. I can understand at least the first glance.
Yeah, no, I won't argue that. I thought you were referring to why they didn't like go grab them. I'm like, well, they look like they're escaping, and they don't look like they have anything to do with it. So I'm like, that makes sense. But you saying just acknowledging them, I get that. No,
they did look like they were running, like they were escaping, getting attacked.
Right,
for sure. Yeah,
but
I can
no one
understand.
followed them. That's true.
They didn't even go, hey, like,
Hey,
witnesses.
Again.
Exactly.
Again, what did I tell you the theme of today was? It was fuck them kids. She looked right at him and said,
No, for real.
About these kids.
sucks for them.
Yeah, like, all right, looks like you're alive. Okay. But yeah, no, I mean, this was. It's really interesting because this show just seems like you might know where it's going, then it takes a swerve. Then you're like, okay, all right, I'm on board, and then they're just like, you're not. Here you go. And so I kind of really like this because, like I said, what Miss Marvel is doing is what I would actually prefer more things to dive truly into, is where you're giving a completely new narrative to where I can't base it off of anything or have any expectations because you're doing things that have just essentially never been done really. So to me, when you choose to be that different, I can accept it over you trying to be different, but in reality, you're doing all the elements that actually exist, but not the core elements that you should be doing. You know what I'm saying?
Like how Shang-Chi made me feel when I was watching that.
What do you mean?
Different. Shang-Chi was different.
Oh, right. Oh, drastically different. Right.
Yeah, it wasn't.
Yeah.
Very different.
Yeah, 100% in so many ways. But yeah, and I mean, look, we got the Kamala Khan line. I think that line will become just as popular as with great power comes great responsibility. I really do. It's such a great line. It's such a great line. It's not who you are, it's what you do. Like I loved it when I heard it in the video game. I love it hearing it here, and I love that he gave her mask. Like I thought that might be something like maybe like Bruno creates for her or something. Really interesting that he's the one that gave it to her, kind of alluding to the fact of
wait.
Maybe I know.
No, it was Bruno.
Oh, Bruno gave it to her?
Yeah,
that was the present. Yeah.
That was what was in that box. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I saw the scene wrong. It looked like when he came out to talk to her, he gave her the box, and then she opened it and was looking at him like, "Oh, maybe."
She went outside to open it because she was probably scared what was in it. She was like, "Open it in here."
Gotcha. Surprised what was in it. Don't be nasty, Trayvon.
No, I mean like superhero related.
Wait, one more thing.
I like that.
One more thing I wanted to say. What do you guys think of the fact that her grandmother experienced that vision? Like, why did she experience any other visions, but now she saw this one?
I believe she probably wore the bangle at some point. Right. So that's like the apparently that's a traumatic thing. Like whatever that train is attached to.
And then probably something because this time that lady was holding her.
Yes, yeah, that's true.
So I think it had something to do with the outside influence also causing that one.
And it's the Nani the one that sent it in the first place. So maybe that she had it, so she used it. She was like, give it to the next girl in line.
Generation, right?
Yeah.
I know for a fact Nani was in the middle of watching some kind of soap operas. What the fuck is that? Like, what the,
damn it!
What the fuck?
I just want to see if she still has the power without the bangle on. That's what I want to see. I just want to see if Nani can do something.
I don't know because I'm not sure if they're trying to say that all of them have always had power in them and the Bengal unlocked it, or Kamala is the only one that the Bengal unlocked what was inside, but for everyone else, the Bengal was the power. I'm not clear really what they're trying to say.
It looked like the what Aisha
like
when she put it on.
Yeah, it looked like she
same
had
thing.
Something. Yeah.
Remember
her eyes changed.
Yeah,
but I'm saying
the
experience of putting it on, I don't know if that's something about what's inside of you, or that's what everyone gets when they first put it on. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm trying to say. It hasn't made it clear to me yet. You know what I'm saying? Whether or not all of them have had something in them.
We need to know the connection between the clandestine and the Kree, and why that technology activates whatever the fuck they are.
Yeah, because it didn't seem like none of them felt like they would have. Well, I guess Cameron's grandmother or his mother said that he would get something that might awake his power event. Maybe he would. But I don't know if she was lying.
It was weird when she didn't try it on. I was like, why didn't you put it on? When you took it off, you know, put it on. You know, you gave it to her. I was like, okay, why? Why didn't she put it on?
Also, Trayvon, as Tristan, did you have anything else you wanted to add?
Oh, no, I'm good.
Okay. So as I pass it to you, Trayvon, they did answer something we were all hoping they would answer, you know, because they do a great job of answering questions. We now know that is not Kamala's grandmother. Yes. So it is not weird that she had a crush on someone we thought might be her, great uncle or some weird shit like that. So I'm glad they covered that immediately. Like, hey, that's not her grandmother. We can.
I'm really wondering.
They're not blood, but I guess they are. Some kind of family.
No, they're not related at all.
From the same race, it seems like.
No. Remember, when Kamala saw what's her name in the vision, we were made to believe that was her grandma.
No, I know, but I'm saying.
No, I'm saying, but she's related to Aisha some kind of way. Right?
I think they're just members of the same race.
Yeah,
they are the same race. They are the same.
But I don't think they.
I'm not 100% convinced that Cameron and her and Naja are blood related. You know what I mean?
They might not be. They
very well might not be. They made sure to say no. He is 17, so it's
exactly. He's nowhere near as old as they are. So it's like,
she was
what's the story behind Cameron?
No, but I think as I pass to you, Trayvon, my favorite part of this episode is when her brother was just like, yeah, everyone's in trouble, but my money.
I know that's right.
Money.
I said, yes.
My money.
Yeah.
As soon as I saw that, I said, hey, God bless you. When he was talking about his financial situation, I said, hey, I get it. I do the same thing. Hey, fuck it. Stab me. But if I can grab my money on the way out, I'm doing it. I'm fucking doing it. But walk me through, Trayvon, and your thoughts on this episode 3.
Yeah, I really enjoy how they were all sweet to her, ask her to do this. And I was like, and right after she left, she immediately went to go try to figure it out. I was like, she didn't wait. She wasn't being lazy. Oh, I'll do it later. She went straight to Bruno. Was like, all right, come on, we gotta figure this out. She was actually trying. And then y'all just turn on her. She was going to do it. She was going to do it. She was going to figure it out, but she would have died in the process. Let's
be fair.
Give her a chance. Damn. Give her a day. 2, maybe 3.
Breathe. Let her breathe.
Give her a week. Damn.
They were just.
You've been waiting all this time. What's the difference?
Yeah, what's the day, right?
It was definitely
It's not like she was like no.
Hours.
She was like no, but she was like, all right, I figured it out. Give her a week.
She
they were
like,
next
after
day,
them too.
Do it.
There has to be a way.
That's crazy.
Patient,
you know, I was like, y'all waiting all this time, you gotta let she about to run away. You know where she at?
To be fair, if you had given Kamala any more time, it looked like Bruno was successfully talking her out of doing it. So they literally could figure out how to do it safely. Clearly, this team has no interest in safety of Earth. So they're like, this isn't my home. I don't give a fuck what happens here. Open that shit up.
Obviously.
They didn't even care about her safety.
Yeah, it's just like, is Kamala gonna be okay? Oh shit, I didn't even think about that. Oh, maybe.
You may die.
Maybe.
Some of you may die.
I do like that Cameron, at least, he was trying to, not get killed.
And he realized, you know what?
He was trying. He's not evil. That's good. At least. We know that much.
So far.
We'll see how long it takes that way. We'll see. Look, I tell you right now, the first time he see her kiss Bruno, he's like, all right, fuck it. Everybody dying.
She ain't kissing Bruno.
Mom, let's do it. Everybody's dying here.
I don't think she's gonna end up kissing Bruno.
No,
I think Bruno's gonna be the one that gets hurt in that situation.
Yeah, I think so. He gonna be pissed and turns to super villain.
You think Bruno's gonna get friend zoned?
He gonna turn to a super villain.
No. I think two things can be true. I think she'll kiss him, and then when she realizes he's not good for her, or he turns on her, or whatever the case, I think this season does end to where it alludes to there's something between Kamala
in the future, maybe, and
Bruno. Yeah, I think it alludes.
I like the
I like.
Yeah, I like the friendship.
I mean, because remember how Homecoming ended, where they alluded to Peter and MJ, right? And then that took a whole nother movie to really explore the relationship.
Even with Shang-Chi and
Shang-Chi too.
Katie.
Yeah,
that was meant to allude that there's feelings there. They're just not in the headspace to act on it yet. But there's something there. You know what I'm saying? And look, the way she stuck her hand out and said, "You want to dance?" Bruno was just like, "Hell yeah! Fuck, I can't dance."
That made his night.
Yeah, he's like,
yes. And then Cameron walks in. That son of a bitch.
Yeah, and by the way, he got to stop calling homeboy Brian. Like, come on, man.
That's
like, even in the face of danger, you're still petty. Like everybody could have died. You still like.
I appreciate the consistency.
To be fair, now I think he honestly might have think that his name is just Brian.
I do too.
No way. No.
To be fair, I think he might honestly think his name is Brian.
Here's why.
Nobody's corrected him since.
Because here's why.
That's the crazy part. Like,
here's why we know it's on purpose. When he dropped the friends off in the last episode, he had only just met everybody.
Yep.
And he nailed everybody's name except for Bruce. He was the only one he fucked up.
I know the optics of that, but he very well could have just literally just like, oh, okay, I think it's Brian.
I agree with this.
And then nobody's corrected him since.
I'm telling you
nobody,
this right now.
Nobody said, hey, it's Bruno.
It's somebody that loves Petty. I see Petty from a mile away. This is as petty.
But nobody has.
I need Kamala to say something like his name is Bruno.
Here's the thing. Kamala right now, because she's in such a love gaze, does not give a fuck what he calls Bruno.
but
that's our best friend though. Like
he don't give a fuck.
He didn't say anything. None of their friends have said anything.
No, because they thought it was funny. Because they thought it was petty. They didn't think it was accidental. They thought it was funny.
But in the midst of danger,
they even laughed at him in the last episode. They were just like, "Oh, Brian!" Like they knew he was being petty. Like, come on, he's petty. He's a little petty bitch. I love it. Don't get me wrong, but that's petty. That's for sure.
The mom redeemed herself in this episode.
God damn, she still didn't redeem after episode 1.
Nah. She got a little bit, but she let her go to the party. That's all right. You got a little bit. Now this time she redeemed. I said, okay, all right. You do love your daughter.
So hold on. You didn't redeem her when Kamala snuck out, right? No. And she still didn't ground her.
Definitely didn't ground her.
So you weren't like, oh, she's a pretty cool mom.
It still was messed up in the first place. Nope.
Continue.
Nope.
Harsh, man.
I'm just look.
You are harsh.
She redeemed this episode. Good job. So when all the clandestines or jinn or whatever they want to call themselves were attacking, did you guys notice the weapons that they were pulling out? Like it was like expanding. It was like weapons out of nowhere. That was cool.
I thought I was seeing shit. I'm like, did that just happen? Maybe
it was cool. It's like he had like a mace. It was weird. It was like it. And then Cameron pulled down whatever he had, whatever that chain thing he was whipping that around. I was like, they got little weapons and shit. I was like, what's this?
Power Rangers, right?
Oh, this is cool.
They did look uniform.
But yeah, I did like. I thought it was really cool how it seemed like her power was just defending her as they were trying to. Like she didn't get hit, at least she didn't get damaged, because boy, they were trying whatever they tried to hit her ass for real. Like they would knock her ass over. Like I was like, this is good. This is working for you. It's working. Yeah, I'm really curious to see what it means by they were like, we need the other one, the second one. Like, what does the second one do? Like, does it lock you fully or what? Like, what does it do then? So I was really curious to see what does the second one do. It's like she's like half powered, maybe. I wonder if that's going to come to a head at the end of this season. I'm trying to think what else. I do like that. Was it Nakia? Right? I like that she finally. I thought she should have told her in the bathroom.
Yeah.
That one the last episode. I was like, you should have told her in the bathroom or shit. Like, but I mean, I get it now. But now she sees. I was like, good. Now she knows.
Finally in the loop.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know what. I don't know. I can't wait. I want the next episode right now. Like I was sitting there waiting. I was like, we'll get a post credits for this one. Anything? Nothing? Okay. And I was like, all right. I always say next week. Damn it. All right. And then I was like, let me go watch this other show. But yeah, that's it. That's all I got. Yep.
So Didge, I want to ask you this as you go into your thoughts on this episode. So we know that the MCU since its inception has I'd say it's close to no interest in secret identities as you could possibly fucking get for a superhero franchise, right? So we know Spider-Man's identity is completely secret, right? We know Matt Murdock's identity is completely secret. Now that we know that he's in the MCU, what do you see Kamala being? Do you see her wanting to embrace like, hey, it's me, Kamala Khan, like it's me? Or do you think the Miss Marvel thing will be utilized in a way to where it shields who she really is? Or do you think the MCU is just like, fuck it, yeah, she's Kamala Khan, I don't give a shit?
I think she's gonna embrace the Kamala Khan because it seemed like, especially with this episode, she was big on like when she was talking with people from the mosque, is that she was big on there being a superhero that fought for them. Mm-hmm. So like, being able to show that Muslim identity and still be a superhero. So I think that when that starts to come to a head of, well, who is really, they're calling her what, Nightlight still. Well, who is that really? I think that's when she shows like tries to make sure it can be that identity of a Muslim superhero.
So you don't think that her secret identity will be something of importance?
I don't think so. At least to her family and the people that are closest to her.
Oh, I don't usually count that. Usually those are the people that always know.
But I think that as you can see from their community, it seems like the entire mosque is basically their family.
Yeah. Okay, I can see that.
They also like to gossip, though.
So
they do also like to gossip, but it seems like it still stays within the mosque community. So like, I don't think they're gossiping with, like, Susan down the street.
I hope so.
So you're saying you see it being more so the way that they handled the Miles Morales game, to where his block essentially, like his neighborhood knows that he's Spider-Man. But like they're not gonna make it global, so that
right, like she's not gonna be on like billboards just like Kamala Khan superhero, just like that.
Okay, I'm with you there.
That would be interesting. That would be interesting long term to see, like the effect it has and the dangers it puts people in, because you're also changing people's lives. Like her brother just got married, and he and his wife probably have all these plans for their future, and like them knowing that puts them in danger. What if they want to have kids? Like it affects a lot of people.
It does.
So I think it would be interesting to see, like, because in Spider-Man, everybody found out who he was, and then we didn't get to really see like the long-term, like day-to-day effects of that. Yeah. So I think it'd be interesting for Miss Marvel to explore that in season 2.
Well, we did. Not in the way that you necessarily mean, but we did see MJ and Ned were just walking targets.
But his was exposed in such a, I guess the best way to put it is like traumatic way, because it was, hey, this is Spider-Man killed somebody, and by the way, Spider-Man is Peter Parker, so hey, that guy's a murderer.
It's a double whammy.
So whereas with this one, it's just, hey, this is me. There's no nefarious thing attached to it. Like the last thing that they really seen her do was save the kid.
It depends, because her friend looked at it as, we're being investigated. They're you're
bringing trouble here.
You're bringing trouble to our mosque, and we still live in a society. So as you heard in episode 1, they still don't trust us. So you're bringing eyes to something we're trying to cool down. And again, you're absolutely right. It's two drastically different circumstances of someone killed someone.
But I do get what you mean.
You know what I'm saying? But it's the equal levity of you're putting other people's lives at risk, not even knowing it, right?
Right.
Like she's not doing this to try to hurt anybody. She wants to be a hero, right?
But
she wants to help her.
So I'm asking, like, what race was she?
That part of it is lessened. Yeah, I was gonna say that part's lessened because they already know, no matter what, even if they don't ever find out that she's Kamala Khan. They saw her face, they saw her skin tone, and said she's a South Asian person.
Well, the interrogation gave that away with the white girl.
Yeah. Right.
Because at first they asked if she was Hispanic. And like, no. That Agent David bitch is racist.
I didn't like that he was like just trying to kill you. I was like, so you just trying to what? Arrest all of them? Like, what is that? Well, why would you? She was trying to kill her. Like,
it was they're a weird group. Like, I don't know if they were prejudiced because they were superpowered or because that was after she had already said that she was South Asian. They sort of knew kind of what race she was, like that she was probably Muslim. Then they kind of went that route, like, oh, did she try to kill you? Like, it seemed like, what is your motive here with that?
I like when Nakia called it out too when they were in the mosque.
I didn't trust them already.
I love that too.
Yeah.
By the way, Nakia, we all learned our rights by Law and Order. Law and Order is usually very helpful and like, oh shit, I got rights? Oh fuck, okay, yeah, you can't walk in here. But yeah, I mean, look, they're diving very much into her religion and how important that is to her and everybody in her. Fuck, Bruno. It's important to Bruno, right? Like, Bruno's always at these functions and everything. So to me, I appreciate that they're not shying away from it. The same way I appreciated that they didn't shy away from it in Black Panther. Like that scene where Killmonger's telling her, this isn't your art. You stole it from my people. That's a very fucking important scene.
It is.
to put in a superhero movie.
And I also admit, this is doing it much better than Falcon and Winter Soldier did it. When they shoehorned the cop scene in there. Like, it did feel...
As long as
I will admit that this does feel more like realistic. Like it didn't feel forced.
It doesn't feel like an after-school special.
If they wouldn't have shoehorned that cop scene in it, the way that how they did Isaiah Bradley and how they did the Black Super Soldiers, that would have been better.
Yeah.
But the cop scene was where it's like, what do we need this?
No.
And the bank scene, I think we could have left without that too.
No, I think the bank scene was equally important. Yeah, I think the bank scene was
I didn't like
important.
the bank scene like that.
I thought it was
realistic.
It's definitely realistic.
I definitely like it because it did shine a light on, because we all believe it. Fucking Tony Stark walked in that bank and said, hey, I need a loan. They'd be like, bitch, a loan? You can have the bank. Like, you want me to sign it over to you? So it's good to see that, to where it's just like, I don't really trust you. Well, why don't you?
Even though I know who you are. I know who you are. Can I get a
Can I get a sig?
Yeah. I mean, look, we're not gonna go into it, but we know. What is the term we always hear? At the end of the day, right? I don't even gotta say nothing else. We already know, right? So to me, it was important to see that bank thing. It was very
fair.
So for Kamala, it's very important to continue to see these scenes in the mosque.
Yes.
Right? See how important that is.
Love that.
I also love that he said, next time you come in here, take off your shoes. You know what I'm saying? Don't disrespect. And remember, her partner said, do not be disrespectful. Right? Yeah. Like, he said, hey, I know it seems like I'm going against my people, but I do still hold dear to me the values of my said people. Don't disrespect the mosque. Don't do that. Right? And she kind of looked at him like, bitch, if I want to. And it's like, all right, okay. All right, fuck with me if you want. Damage control. But no, Didge, I'm sorry. Walk me through your thoughts on this episode.
Yeah, I mean, I love the episode. I think the wedding scene itself was so much fun. Like, that's something I watched, I think, like 2 or 3 times just because it was just so much joy in that scene.
Yeah.
And that's something like you get a lot of obviously happy scenes in superhero movies in general, but this just felt like organic joy. So I liked seeing it. And then just the way that it flowed, like you were talking about how it seems like action is moving very fast, but it doesn't seem like too fast. Like, it seems like a necessary speed. Like, the fact that it seems like next scene they're going to Pakistan, where it's like, normally you might think like, man, we're moving very quickly here, but it's like, yeah, it seems like where the story should take us.
Yeah.
You know, and it left enough questions where it's like, I want you to be there now. So overall, like I said before, 10 out of 10, very little notes. I enjoyed it so much.
Okay.
I can't wait for the next episode. It sucks that it's half over.
Yeah, I'm with you there. But and again, I said I'm leaning more towards Trayvon now, because now seeing Iman is Miss Marvel, right? again, I said it before. If this movie was still coming out in February, I would have no issues that it ends mid-July, right? Because then you only have a handful of months before February comes around. You see her again. You pushing that movie back now is like, well, for fuck's sake. Like, you tell me you couldn't put anything else out right now and maybe move this closer to that so I don't have that large of a gap in between. Yeah. I kind of would have maybe preferred it. But yeah, no, I to me, I don't have any critiques. I don't have any. I would have liked to seen this done better. They're dealing with a walk of life I'm not familiar with, so I can't speak on it, right? Yeah. So a lot of this is more so of me, like we often tell people of other races, shut up and let them teach you, right? Don't critique things you don't know about. Let them teach you. And then once you learn, you can be a part of the conversation. Don't just jump out there.
I've been watching some like there's a lot of Muslim reacts to this that I've been seeing on YouTube. Yeah, it's so fun to watch those. I was like, oh look, they're like, oh yeah, it's accurate, that's accurate. I was like, cool, okay, like I like that. It's enjoyable.
Marvel's trying its best to bring the world together because Black Panther was definitely one of those moments where we were just like, okay. All right, okay. Y'all did your thing there. I see you. And then Shang-Chi came out, and it was just like, well, this is fucking beautiful. This made me go, God damn. Maybe they should have waited to do Black Panther. Like, fucking letting Shang-Chi out here out doing this and shit. But, it's just good to see other walks of life, seeing it from the other side. It's so beautiful on the other side, right? So it's a lot of fun. But I am very curious to see how this all connects to the Marvels, to Shang-Chi, to his rings, the history of his rings. Because, Joel, me and you said before, they're not going to do Fing Fang Foom. And I think this is as much confirmation as we could possibly
I'm still not sold.
Because to me, I always liked the idea of the rings were that big. Because Fing Fang Foom would wear them as rings, right? Because he's a fucking giant-ass dragon, right?
Yeah, he's a dragon.
So that made sense. But now you're seeing a Kree is part of this, and this might be Kree technology. You kind of then go...
My only argument...
on their arms, too.
Yeah, right.
My only thing about it being Kree technology is that when they were looking at it, they said it wasn't of, like... Carol didn't recognize it.
Right, I got something for that. So this is back in
1995?
40? No. 42.
1942.
Right, 1942. But if it's Kree technology, it could be ancient tech that when you get to Carol Danvers and the people that taught her, they're unaware of it.
Especially if we're assuming that Wenwu was the one that told them to go there, because then that means
he's been around forever.
10,000 or so years. Yeah.
I'm saying the way Carol Danvers answered it made it seem like she's just never heard of it before. She's not saying that it couldn't be. She just said, I've never heard of anything like this.
Kree got a lot of stuff, man. Damn.
I'm just saying it looks like they're giving Kree a lot of stuff. So I could see how this, because remember, Feige said a lot of these stories we're going to see going forward won't necessarily connect to what the comics did. It'll more so connect to where they are in current MCU. So it's like if they wanted to shoehorn this all fitting in with the Kree for this upcoming war, I agree with you. I want Fing Fang Foom more than any fucking
I'm not trying to pigeonhole it. I'm just trying to but I'm not sold 100% that the 10 rings are Kree tech yet. I need more.
Yep. Hey. Look, if I'm wrong and it's just a Shang-Chi thing, I will be very excited. But I'm looking at that bangled, and I'm looking at it and saying, it isn't a stretch that this bangled and these rings were in the same fucking room.
But remember, they're using the bangle for something that's not Kree related. You know what I'm saying?
Wait, say it again?
They're using the bangle to get back to another dimension. So it's not like what they're using the Kree bangle for is not for Kree stuff. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying?
Elaborate a little more. I'm a little confused.
I'm trying to explain this. The bangle that they're using is not to go to where the Kree whole planet is, right? As far as we know.
Yeah, Nor or whatever.
They're trying to go back to the Nor dimension. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We want to try maybe they're not from this dimension. Those rings is what I'm saying.
Oh, I get you. Okay, I completely get you. I looked at it more so as it's Kree, but they're using it because its power can get them back to where they need to go. But it's not what it's actually used for. But they are
Right.
using it to try to get themselves.
That's
back.
exactly what they're trying to do.
Right,
They know that it could get them there.
Right.
And it's all cosmic energy, it seems.
Right. Well, that's what I'm saying. That's
Even
why I think
the rings. Yeah.
Those bangles might be. We talked about it like when we first heard about it. Like it might be the quantum bands or the nega bands or whatever.
Yeah.
Because they said they needed two. They said it. They said we need two to get home or whatever. So they might be more powerful together than they are separate.
100%. We'll definitely see because the likelihood of this being a coincidence.
It's rough.
This is the crash site where the Bengal was, and the possibility that the rings were in the same place and Wenwu directed them there.
Again, where are you getting that Wenwu directed them there?
No, I'm not saying that Wenwu definitively did. I'm saying that someone told them that there was power there to go there to find it.
There's a 10 Rings temple somewhere in India that they're mining basically because it's destroyed somehow.
Maybe
the British destroyed it, right? They said the British destroyed it.
Yeah, the British came through there, looking to see what was in there. So I'm saying you connecting it to the 10 Rings is for a massive reason. You know what I'm saying? That's why I connected to Wenwu, because I'm like, there shouldn't be something that's happening with the 10 Ring army that Wenwu is not aware of. That's literally Wenwu's army. So I'm like, there's a very good chance that as he was trying to conquer all of Asia, that was one of the places he was trying to conquer. You know what I'm saying? So it's very likely. It's very likely that he has something to do with that. Is all I'm saying.
With what exactly? Is what I'm trying to say.
Whether he scavenged that crash site first, and that's where he found the ring.
It looks like it belonged to him. Like that temple belonged to them.
No, I agree, but I'm saying once it crashed, I believe he was like, "Oh shit, what's in?"
Probably built his temple on the site.
See what I mean? Don't know what the fuck we're talking about now anymore.
So we're saying we think the Kree ship crashed first, right? And then he found that and then built a temple around it. Not he built the temple first.
But how do you explain the random fucking arm?
That's still the Kree that apparently no one cleaned up there.
That's what I mean. That doesn't make any sense. You can't.
That he didn't clean up there?
Yeah. How are you gonna build something and not clean up after yourself? That doesn't make any sense at all.
That is fair. Yeah.
It would be weird to leave that bangle there if you saw it. Mm-hmm.
If you saw it, yeah.
It looks like it was there. It may have been a home base for the Kree or whatever. Who knows? Because they've obviously been here before. So something happens. Someone for the Kree.
Well, maybe the 10 Rings isn't his place. Maybe somebody else's.
The whole point is the Kree have been on Earth before. That's the whole point of the Inhumans.
True.
Is the MCU saying that?
Oh my God.
No.
That the Kree
but it could be.
Oh, okay, all right. I'm just making sure.
Well, just like you're saying, when was all of a sudden like the tour guide? I'm saying maybe the Kree.
So maybe that temple isn't when it was at all. Maybe it was the Krees.
I find it hard to believe it has his logo and
obviously it has something to do with it.
Yeah,
right.
And knows nothing about that place. Yeah, it'll be interesting because we could both be right. We could be right in the sense of Wenwu is aware of what was in that temple, and you also could be right in the idea of when it was discovered. Could have been after. The British went in there, was looking for shit, couldn't find nothing. They came in there, find the bangle. You know what I'm saying? Like there's dots that could be connected here, but for me, this was extremely random to see the 10 Rings logo in something that has to do with Miss Marvel, right? Or Kree or anything like that.
Right.
So it's not a stretch, but I wouldn't be upset if they're like, oh, it has nothing to do with the 10 Rings at all. I wouldn't be like, what? But
obviously
I would understand it.
That could definitely been something he built hundreds of years ago too, like way before they discovered this.
There's a connection to the 10 Rings. There's a connection to the 10 Rings and the Kree.
And I mean, shit, even the way they fought looked like they were maybe trained by the 10 Ring army. They fought very in sync and very lethal.
Yeah, especially that one dude, the bald dude, was kicking ass.
Yeah, he looked like the bald dude that was kicking ass in Shang-Chi. So they might have been trained. They might have been housed by the Ten Ring Army.
I do not know. I just know now that like the Ten Rings are connected in some capacity. Now the actual Ten Rings is what I was really trying to get at, like the mystery behind the Ten Rings. I think it's deeper than just Kree tech, but could be wrong. Could be as simple as Kree tech, but
who knows?
I don't know that. I don't think they would make a big deal like that if it really was just Kree tech. You know what I mean?
You mean a big deal?
I think it'd be a waste. That post credit would be a waste if it's just Kree tech. Is what I'm saying. They made a big deal to Beacon. You really tell me they can't figure that out?
That's true.
Like Carol Danvers couldn't figure it out.
Carol and with all the connections they have, I just feel like it feels like it's a. They know less about whatever that is. Then the Kree been around too long. They're in everything almost. I feel like they would have figured it out by now. That's why for me, I think it's too simple to say it's Kree. You get what I'm saying?
I feel like that would lead to the reason why they didn't know. The Kree have been around for so long.
It's just so ancient. It's so ancient.
Their technology changes so much.
Don't you see that? Don't you feel like it's too simple? Like
sometimes the simplest answer is the result, though. Like I don't necessarily need it to be this super fantastical thing of like when
what? You know what? Go ahead. No. You know what? I'll give Joel that, but I'll add a caveat to it. Once I learn more about this fucking bangle, right? This bangle, what it does, I can then definitively either completely agree with you or drastically disagree with you. Because my only issue is just the inner workings of the bangle. Because again, these rings are new to us. They don't work like the actual rings we know.
No,
right? And we still have no idea the full capability of those said rings that Shang-Chi has. He was able to do some different shit than even what his dad was able to do. So I'm like, we don't know the extent of the rings. We don't know the extent of the bangle. There could be a connection somewhere in the middle of what that is able to do and what that is able to do.
There could be.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm with you. I'm with you on it could be. It sounds like it's too much of a basic bitch. But at times, the MCU tends to be a very basic bitch.
It's just for me, it would come off as too. That was like because we sat there in the theater, like, what could it be? And then if you're telling me it's Kree tech, after having that bitch standing there the whole time, I think that would be very disappointing. Is what I'm saying.
Yeah. Okay. Did you want to add anything else?
No, I think that's pretty much everything.
Yeah, I mean. We all enjoyed it. We all thoroughly enjoy this series as a whole. We cannot wait to see how everything connects. Because right now it's not confusing. It's more so one of those for me. Well, I'm sorry, it is confusing.
Yeah,
but I didn't mean it. I don't mean it in like a negative sense. Like it just doesn't make sense.
No, you're right.
It's more so like It's more so like I can't wait to see
how they explain
it because everything is so drastically different.
Yes.
And where it comes from.
Yep.
Kamala already is drastically different than the comic. Right? Her entire backstory, the motive, everything is just different, right?
Yep.
I mean, shit, most people don't know this. The comic starts with when she gets the power, she's a white woman.
Before Carol.
Right. So it's like it's different. It's different, and I love where they're going with it. I just can't wait to see how everything pans out. And I am really curious. I want to get a quick reaction from you guys. So the video game has her dad, but no mom, right?
Mm-hmm. Oh, that we saw.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I don't know if they explained that. You know.
Okay, then never mind. Forget
it. They didn't say anything about her mom.
Right. Yeah, forget it. We don't even need to go any further than that.
Were you gonna say you thought her mom was dead or missing?
I was gonna say, what do we think happened to her mom?
Okay.
In that game, because you're right, they say nothing about her mom, right? You know, like not like your mom misses you or your mom will be back soon. She's proud of the person you become. Nothing.
Yeah,
there's nothing. You know. So I'm curious. But all right, we know she has her mom in the series, so who cares, right? But we all enjoy this series. I cannot wait to see what episode 4 is, and I'm with Trayvon. If you're gonna throw in a random end credit scene at episode 1 or 2. We're gonna expect that shit often throughout the next couple episodes. So maybe just save it for the finale. right?
That wasn't even a big one.
Save the end credit for the finale.
Yeah.
That could've-
It's still so surprising though. I was like,
it
what?
was. It was.
I can't even lie to you, Trayvon. As soon as the end credits came on, like the show credits, I started to fast forward to see if like let me hurry up and get to the end credit. There's nothing. It was just like, hey, would you like to watch Doctor Strange? Like, no, bitch, I want more Kamala. Like, I want to watch a fucking Doctor Strange.
And it stayed up there a long time today. I was like, is it gonna do it again?
Yeah,
because usually it just goes straight. It does that thing. I was like, it didn't do it. I was like, is it okay? What? Nothing. What the hell? What's the what? Why did you?
Nothing at all. So if we've learned anything, it's that Kevin, you do too good of a job of spoiling us. To where now we're just like, well, I want that shit all the time. Like, not some of the time, all the time.
Never mind.
No, go ahead.
It has nothing to do with Kamala. That's stupid.
Go ahead, say it before we log off.
I was thinking about post-credit scenes. So have you guys seen Lightyear?
Yeah. There's like 3 fucking post-credit scenes.
Yeah, see, it's one though that's like so far at the end.
Yeah, it's like
it didn't even make sense.
After
I was like, what? I was like, why is it? I said, nobody's staying for this one. Like, it didn't make any sense. It's literally after everything. I was like, who? I was like, who is this for? Like, it's falling.
Somebody in that studio was sitting there just like, I wonder if they're loyal enough to stay here.
And I was sitting there. I was, but I was like, I was surprised though. I was like, oh, I thought it was just going to end. No, another one. I was like, what? Yeah, it was yeah.
Yeah, 3 post-credit scenes.
Yeah, and that was the best one, I think, at the very end.
Well, it gave you the most information. You're like, oh,
yeah. I was like, what the hell? Like,
the rest of them were nice little nods to the rest of the movie, and then that last one was like,
I figured.
Yeah. All right, so we are anxiously waiting to see what this new episode gives us next week. I cannot wait. I'm counting the days. This show is like a fucking addiction. Moon Knight gave me the same things where it's just I need it. Just hurry up, give it.
It's a good feeling though, isn't it? Like, like you have something like it sucks for when it's over, but at least we get to experience it every week. Like to talk about it. If it was all one week, it's kind of like it's here and gone already.
I can't wait to binge this one again.
Now, look, I ain't gonna lie to you. If they told me they'll drop the rest of these episodes right now, I would have not an ounce of remorse. Watch I eat that shit.
I would watch them all right now. I would.
Right now. I mean, shit, Tristan going through it. He said Umbrella Academy dropped and he couldn't stop.
Yeah, true. That is very true.
So, shit, give it to me. But all right, guys, we're going to end this stream here for Miss Marvel. Thank you guys for tuning in. We will be going live in a few minutes to break down the finale. They're calling it series finale of Kenobi.
Yeah.
So we'll be breaking
that
down.
She also already said that. Well, the fans want more. We might explore more.
Of course they will.
Wait, who said that?
Kathleen Kennedy.
Kathleen Kennedy.
Of course. I told you, Kathleen loves money. She's made that very clear. She
immediately had that going.
Oh, y'all liked it? Oh, okay. Bruh, all right.
Bruh, you know it's all about money. This Kenobi series didn't need to fucking happen. This is nothing but a cash grab. You serious? Yeah,
but it was just so funny. It was probably like 11 o'clock, and the article was everywhere already.
Yeah, she's like, y'all want more? Fuck it, give it to him. I'm having it. But all right, guys, we'll break down more of Kenobi up next. Thank you guys for tuning in. Till next week for another episode of Miss Marvel. Peace.